Welcome to the Evolved Dad Shortcast. Your new life starts now.
Hey, welcome back for another episode of the Evolved Dad Shortcast. As you may hear, I am a little bit run down, but the show must go on, so let's get at it. This week I asked on Twitter if there was a subject that was requested that I speak about. And I got two answers: the evolution of fatherhood and activities to get the family involved in the community. I'm going to try to tie the two in together, and maybe at some point I'll bring in a guest in a future week to sort of discuss these a little bit further because they are very large and complex topics. There's really no way of getting it all in 10 minutes, but I'm going to try to do what I can. So, the evolution of fatherhood. And we can go back as far as people living in caves to more modern times or closer to modern times when they were working the fields. From my understanding, as of now, the father's role wasn't like the role of a father that we have now. The father's role was to really focus on teaching his son real life things, everything that he needed to know, as far as just, staying alive, making a living. There was obviously no internet to jump on, no Twitter, no Amazon. So whether that was working the land, or maybe you were a merchant of some sort, it was teaching your son how to carry on with that business. I'm not going to say that's what everybody was doing, but per my understanding, that's really, for the most part, what was happening. Then it came to more recent years where we shifted a little bit, and the father was working out of the house. So in previous years, you had a field, you were growing something, or maybe you were doing some sort of sales or selling wares or working elsewhere, whatever you may have been doing. But there used to be some sort of a connection between your home and your work. There was a little bit more of a life integration into it. You weren't going far for your work. Again, this is all per my initial understanding. And then when it came down to more recent years, fathers started going out of the house. Fathers weren't really home, they were just the breadwinners. Now, more recently, things have sort of shifted back to where fathers are taking on more of a role of raising the children. And there is an understanding that we are now given the opportunity to lead our children properly. We have more opportunities to show our children how we want them to lead their lives. They're not going to necessarily be taking over a family business. They're not necessarily going to be doing the same thing that we do. But to be able to give them the tools for life that they can take with them and do whatever they choose to do. If anything, in ways, I would say we probably live in a more of a difficult time just due to technology. So if you think about it, or just look around, look at what social media has promoted. On one hand, you have a tremendous source of knowledge where you've brought people together People that you would never be able to talk to. You could talk to people around the world on a day-to-day basis. You're chatting with them. You may have a video call with them. On the flip side, there's so many more people that are exploiting. So that's one of the crucial things we as fathers now have to teach our children. Everything that we have can either be used as a tool or as a weapon. Until it's understood what its uses are and how to use it, by definition, it's a weapon because it's going to be used improperly. So fatherhood has really taken on a very different view, a very different position, I would say, probably than ever in history. Because we're faced with not only with challenges, but what we're teaching our children is totally different. It's not even that we're looking to teach them a trade. We're looking to teach them traits. We want them to internalize things that they can take on for themselves. We want them to be self-confident. We want them to try new things. We want them to know that if they try as hard at that one thing and they keep focusing on it, maybe asking for help here and there when necessary, but keep going at it, you're going to get there if you're really set on getting there, because you can. So, as far as fatherhood goes, I feel like we're in a totally new range of things that we have to deal with. We've totally shifted out of the old stuff. It doesn't even resemble anything anymore, especially with the ability to work remotely. The things that our children see at such young ages, what they're exposed to, how quickly everything travels, what they can hold in their hands 100 years ago didn't exist. There was nothing even close to it. And then as far as getting families involved in community, technology can have a tremendous way of doing that as well. It can be used to make neighborhood get-togethers. You can help out in your local charity, local organization. If you're religious, there's houses of worship all over that you can go help out at. There's government stuff that you can go help out with if that's what you so choose to do. So I think that these all really come together with the fact that we live in a new age of technology. And that it now not only gives us a tremendous amount of responsibility to really understand what we're doing with our children and choose a clear focus, understand before we start heading out on that journey, where are we trying to go? And at the same time, we can take that benefit once we understand the power of technology and use it as a tool to find those local things that we can get our family involved in to become more of a community. Because when it comes down to it, that's important for everyone. It's important for the father, it's important for the mother, it's important for the children. Everyone needs a social life. The more we can stay away from the screens and interact with people face to face, the more we're going to thrive. We're human beings. That's how we thrive, by making connections. You can see people's emotions, and you can just have so much more fun in person. And especially for our children, if we can give them that opportunity to play outside with others, to go play in other places with others, they get to learn so much more than spending their time on the computer, on a phone, behind a screen. So I hope that filled to whatever the expectations were. It's a little bit of a base level of bringing in how fatherhood has evolved and some family activities that you can do to be able to get more involved in the community. So I want to say thank you for spending your time with me today. I usually say resolve to evolve. And I'm going to say that with regards to your approach to technology. Take it into consideration, be careful with it, use it as a tool. This is Jonathan, the Evolved Dad, signing off.